Hey, good afternoon, Facebook. Dan Lopez here with episode number 7 of Lunch with Local Legends. I am here with a very special guest, Bob Caldwell, owner-broker of Caldwell Realty Services. He is here today to talk with us a little bit about the Florida Realtors Relief Foundation. Recently, he invited me out to Panama City last weekend, actually, and we did a relief effort with the foundation. I got to tell you, I'm still sore from that whole experience. How you doing today, Bob?
I'm doing fine, and I'm still sore too.
You're sore as well. Well, you certainly worked hard. Just to kind of give everybody an idea, I pulled it up here on my phone here real quick. We just got a couple of photos that I'll show you from the effort. Let's see if you can see that well enough. Where is the camera? There is the Super 8. This is the group of people that went out there, and man, we just cut down a lot of trees and moved a lot of debris around. We even went as far as fixing a couple doorbells and sheds and all kinds of stuff. Bob kept us busy from day one. So tell us a little bit about your involvement with the foundation, Bob.
Okay. Well, in a former life, I was search and rescue back in the 60s, back in the day, and since then, coming down to Florida in '71, I've been involved with pretty much all the hurricanes and everything, especially Florida. Florida has from Andrew on. It's just something I feel I need to do, and I've got a passion for it. And I've met some super people just like Dan and the Super 8. I've taken a number of realtors groups around the country throughout my 40 some years in the business.
That's incredible. Now you say you got a passion for it. How do you develop a passion for it? I mean, you just woke up one day and say, I just want to go and chase a hurricane somewhere, or?
Well, I mean, if for those of you that may be a first responder, it kind of gets in your blood. And like I said, I was search and rescue. So what actually brought me down to Florida was Hurricane Agnes went through Pennsylvania back in the 70, and worked search and rescue, and came down to Florida for vacation, and kind of fell in love with it and decided to stay here and raise my family. But there's different disasters. You got floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, fires, and it's just something I felt I needed to do. And my father always taught me give back multiple times of whatever you get, and that's pretty much my way of giving back.
That's outstanding. Sounds like your father was a good man.
Oh yeah.
I feel you can never give back enough of what you receive. The more you give, it's just somehow always magnifies and comes back at you in a greater way. Just want to give a quick shout out to Penny Goodwin. Thank you for joining us. Andy Tober is basically telling us next time we go, she's ready to pack up and go with us as well. So we got to make note of that, okay?
Looks like Kathy Rydell.
Kathy Rydell is here as well. Hello, Kathy.
One of the Super 8.
That's right. Larry Gray has joined as well. Thank you so much. And Sherry Davis Robbins, thank you for coming on board. So basically, when you contacted me and asked if I would join you on this effort, my part of it was easy. I just had to show up, drive out there, and you had everything going for us
And work.
I can only imagine there was a lot of effort that went into this to begin with, from setting up the contacts, getting a list of people that need help. Tell me more. I mean, what was involved in getting all this going for us?
Well, actually, the easy part was putting everybody together. We had 6 realtors, and the Rydells, Robert and Kathy from our church, all stepped up to the plate.
What was the name of the church?
First United Methodist Church in Apopka. And it doesn't matter whether they're realtors or what. We all put whoever wants to get together, we'll take them. A lot of my work was taken care of by the people up in Panama City, the AE from the board up there. That covers five counties and 1,600 members.
Mm-hmm.
They put together the list of people that needed to help, and actually provided us with some great housing, even though it wasn't on the beach.
It wasn't on the beach, but it was by the beach.
That that was a personal joke amongst the Super 8. But no, it was totally a lot different from the first time I went. Myself and Bill Briggle, who also went with us this time, we went up 2 days after the hurricane, and we weren't able to get into Panama City because everything was shut down. So we went up to Mariana and Chipley area, which is just north of I-10, and worked up there for the whole weekend. Actually, mostly up there was a little bit of work and a lot of search and rescue. We worked with a sheriff's department, gave us names of people, the elderly, and some people that were bedridden to find out their condition and situation. But
now you shared with us while we were there about on that first trip, just a couple of days after Hurricane Michael, of one I don't know, it was a family or individual that was basically trapped in their home.
Yeah, actually, it was two people. The very first one, when we got up there Friday, we got a call from a realtor saying their son was completely trapped in their mobile home, couldn't get out. So we were able, after a while, unfortunately, there wasn't any power and there wasn't any internet, and so our phones didn't work. So our GPS on our phones, it took us a lot longer to find them than that type of thing. We did find them, and we were able to cut enough trees out and cut them off the mobile home so we could at least get out of his out and walk out. I mean, put it that way. I mean, they were totally trapped.
Wow.
But
well, they must have been appreciative of you guys coming out there and helping them out.
Oh yeah. And another instance was they gave us an address back in the sticks, so to speak, where a teenager who was bedridden, to see what the situation was there. And it took us probably 3 hours to get to him. And actually, the forestry department, we hooked up with them to open the roads up to get to him. And one of their neighbors, who was a dairy farmer, right after the storm or maybe during the storm, went in and basically carried her out because she was wheelchair bound, and took him into his home. But or they may still be there because there was no way we could have gotten into where she was.
Wow, that's incredible. So tell me a little bit about the differences in what you saw from just a couple of days after Hurricane Michael to when we went out there last weekend. I mean, it was the amount of devastation that still is present in the Panama City area is it's eye-opening. But I can only imagine what it was just a couple of days after.
Yeah, well, we actually tried to get there on Thursday after the hurricane, but I-10 was closed. Trees were covering the road and everything, so we couldn't go till Friday. But our first instinct was going to Panama City and Mexico Beach, but like here again, it was the roads were closed, so we went to Chipley and Mariana, and spent the night in the Walmart parking lot.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Did you have a pillow at least?
Not really. That was an experience in itself. But Chipley and Mariana is a good 50 mile from Panama City, if not more. And the devastation there, I would equate it to when we had the 3 hurricanes here in Florida and Irma lately.
Right. What was that, 2004?
Something like that. I can't remember anymore. But a lot of damage, trees, roofs and everything like that. Mariana got hit real bad. Downtown was half of it was destroyed and crumbled on the ground. Unlike Panama City, where, as you well know, you were there, and of course Kathy was there, and the rest of the Super 8. Shopping centers were imploded. Homes were imploded. Not just the roofs, pulled off, but just completely crumbled right to the ground. And they would have had to been either tornadoes, microbursts, or something, because high wind just doesn't do that kind of damage.
Right.
And I would equate to probably the damage that was in Panama City to Hurricane Andrew down in Homestead. In fact, I don't think Homestead even equaled the horrific damage that Mexico Beach and Panama City experienced.
Well, you see that when you see the photos, the area photos of Mexico Beach. I mean, what was it? One house that survived on that entire area, and then when we learn about that house and the particulars that owner put into building it, basically he made a fortress.
Yeah, yeah. And it's going to, you're going to see a lot of changes in that whole area as far as building codes.
Mm-hmm.
The house that did withstand everything in Mexico Beach, I didn't see it, but just reading on it, they drilled pilings just like you see around here where they're putting pilings into the ground. That's what they did there when 40, 50 feet in the ground with pilings. And it was built. They had a little bit of wind around some of the windows, but other than that, it withstood everything. 150-mile-an-hour winds.
Just want to say hello to Jim McGonigal, Van Scott, Kathy Blair. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you. Candy Vargas, Vanessa Pierce has joined us as well with Jackie Berkson. Thank you very much for coming on board and saying hello. So the organization that you're basically putting this through is the Florida Realtors Relief Foundation.
That's correct.
How long have you been involved with them?
Oh, probably for a good 10, 12 years. I'm past chair of the group.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know when. I can't remember when that particular one was formed. But it's made up of realtors from around the state.
Sure.
And basically what they do, the fund is there for realtors that have gone through a disaster, whether it be here again, flood, fire, tornado, hurricanes, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be their personal residence or their office. They fill an application, send photographs, and then we review them and give them monetary money in order to try to get back on their feet.
I hear it. Nice.
And we've been getting a lot of them lately from Panama City.
Yeah, I bet. So, other than Panama City, you touched on a couple about where has this drive, this interest of yours, where has it taken you?
Well, I went to Alabama a couple of years ago.
Okay.
With some realtors and some people from my church.
Uh-huh.
And Florida Realtors sponsored us to go up and help those after the tornadoes. And that was my first experience with a tornado disaster. I've seen some small ones like we've had around here in Winter Garden and stuff,
mm-hmm.
but never where you can see for miles and all you see is maybe a chimney standing. Everything else is blown over.
Okay. Wow.
It was totally different experience. And thank goodness the GPS worked because there was no street signs. They give us an address and we'd have to, go. We spent a week there that time. First couple of days, we split up my team and myself and another individual went, search and rescue because it was it was like a week after the tornado and they were still trying to find people in rubble and people that were, taken. In one instance, the young lady was talking to her mother and talked her mother finally into getting in the car and going like 3 miles to their house, and she never got there. And they found the car like 5-6 mile away in the opposite direction. The tornadoes just picked it up. And unfortunately, to this day, they still haven't found her.
Oh, wow.
It's no closure. But that was an experience. But just seeing the people responding and working together. The high school was completely destroyed, but every morning at 6 o'clock before sunrise, there was 50 to 100 high school students there, loading up pickup trucks and everything with MRIs and meals and ice and water, taking it out to, to neighboring, places around the community.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing the kids' responses was heartfelt.
Wow. So you do this on a volunteer basis, right?
Yeah.
So you don't make any money doing this?
Oh, no.
This is above and beyond what you do as your full-time job.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
And I will say, Florida Realtor Foundation, has helped, the group with, paying for housing or anything like that or gas. And, but other than that, we, it's totally volunteer with, anybody and everybody that, goes with me.
Well, I got to tell you, but that's one thing I was very impressed about with the Panama City Association of Realtors. I mean, here they are displaced, by this storm, and yet they still welcomed us with open arms. They did everything they possibly can to make our trip easier, better, enjoyable. I mean, like you said, they hooked us up with very nice housing. We had a comfortable bed to sleep in, and temperature controlled, and it was nice. And I can't think of anybody. There was not a negative experience the entire time there. Everybody was just so grateful that we were there to help out, and they wanted to help us out in any way that they possibly can. What an experience! What an amazing experience! Definitely something that I, for one, definitely would like to do again. I think just everybody in our group mentioned being interested in doing it again. Maybe we'll become future Bobs. We'll see.
Well, we're planning on putting together a group, like I told everybody, probably last week of January, first week of February.
Nice.
And going back, either doing the same thing or maybe getting involved with, one or two groups that are coming in after the first of the year to start, new construction.
Okay.
So
very good. So your work with the Florida Realtors Relief Foundation has also carried you over into the national level as well, right? So that is the NAR Realtor Relief Foundation?
Right. It's Realtor Relief Fund, which I'm a trustee.
You're a trustee of that currently.
I was just appointed to another 3-year term.
Outstanding. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
So what does that entail? What is it that you guys do?
It's kind of a sister to the Florida Realtors Relief Fund, but each one has its own setup and what they fund and what they don't fund.
Mm-hmm.
Florida Realtors funds for repairs and and getting people on their feet, both for office and home. Unlike Realtors Relief Fund, that was formed right after 9/11. Well, actually within like a day or two after 9/11.
Okay.
And their function was, and it still is, to help individuals, not only the realtors, but anyone that's experienced a disaster to help them pay for their rent or mortgage.
I see. Wow. Okay. A lot of good help from good people out there. All right. Quick hello to my wife, Tina. She has joined us. Hello to Dwayne Duggan. Thank you for coming on board. So, what can we do? So, other than, getting in contact with you and signing up and going on future trips, is there anything else that we could do, whether it's as realtors or even just as
well, I mean, if anybody is interested in getting more information or like to join us, please give me email me you can reach me at Cald Realty, CALD Realty, REALTY at AOL.com, and I'd be glad to give you more information. Like I said, we're putting together a group now, and just about all the Super 8 that agreed to go back. Of course, donating money is always a good thing to either organization.
How do you go about doing that?
You can just go online at NAR or FR's website and just go to the relief funds, and you can automatically just donate any amount that you may have.
Okay.
We've had a lot of disasters around the country this year, and also Florida Realtors does give to the NAR too for different functions. Campfire, big fire out in California, and our funds are quickly dwindling, so to speak. From
yes, they would, but that's such a large scale.
Because you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars that we've sent that support.
Wow.
And it's been a crazy year.
I guess it has. Hopefully it calms down a little bit in 2019.
It'd be nice. Yeah.
Because we still got a lot of carryover going into 2019.
And there's a lot of rebuilding to do. I mean, all these areas, the rebuilding, Campfire in California. I mean, they, 1,600, structures. Same way with Panama City. They have 1,600 members, of which 400 were impacted either, lost their homes completely. So I mean, it's
wow. But and I suspect 2 years, 3 years, the Panama City area. I doubt no more than 3 years. The Panama City area is going to be tremendous.
Oh yeah.
Once again, like you said, there's going to be probably a revamp of the codes that take place. There's going to be new rebuilding, new growth, and it's just going to be a phenomenal area to visit. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty, devastating. I don't know if you put any of the pictures that everybody took
I did,
on your
yeah.
Facebook, uh, and that was only a small portion. And the pine trees, the fine pine forests, just seeing for miles and miles and miles, just the trees, snapped off, not out of the ground, but just snapped completely off, 8 and 10 foot in the air.
It was crazy because basically what happens is you got your hurricane. So as your hurricane is coming through, the winds are going in one direction, and then you hit the eye, and then when you come back around, it's going in the opposite direction.
Mhm.
It's just basically wrapped these
Yeah.
trees around and just snapped them right in half. So it almost looks like someone just came with a chainsaw,
Exactly.
20 feet up in the air and snapped all these trees up. It's just incredible, absolutely amazing. What a sight to see! Wow. What I did tag you in the in this message or in the Facebook post, so people are able to communicate with you directly if they want to
Okay.
reach out to you. But I'll also go ahead and make sure that I'll update the information in here, and I'll include your email address. And did you want me to include your phone number as well, or?
That's fine. The office is 407-788-3700.
Okay.
And just let me know, if I don't pick up, leave a message and let me know what you're calling about.
Because what I would definitely like to do is on the next effort, I mean, the Super 8 that we had was incredible, but if we can even get more hands on deck and get more people involved, and not only just from our own association, from other groups, anybody who's interested in going out there and helping out, I'm sure you'll find a way to keep them busy, because you certainly kept us busy.
I'm looking to take at least 20, maybe 30 the next time.
Nice.
Yeah. So we can split up the activities and cover that much more territory.
Awesome. Well, as long as we're not sleeping in the Walmart parking lot, right?
Well, that humbles you when you have to do that.
I guess it
Trust
does.
me.
I'll be walking around with a sore back the whole time. What an experience. And Bob, I really appreciate you allowing me to be a part of it. It was
my pleasure.
Absolutely incredible. I enjoyed myself. Anything else you would like to add to our guests here?
No, other than, a lot of our members OR is going to be putting together a couple of work days with Habitat, and look for blast mailings on emails for that.
Habitat for Humanity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a project in Apopka that they're building a subdivision, and we've already been there twice, and we're putting together probably at least 2 or 3 groups together next year.
Very cool. If you've never done a Habitat project, I highly recommend it. It's interesting, a lot of fun. Good people, really, really good people who are involved in that project for sure. All right. Well, Bob, thank you so much for coming on board and telling us a little bit about the foundation, everything that you do, and thank you for not only your service to the real estate industry, which is extensive, but everything that you're doing in this regard as well. That's it's above and beyond outstanding.
Well, I just enjoy, unfortunately, I enjoy doing it. And
unfortunately, but fortunately for so many others.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we sign off, just wanted to say hello to Stephanie Anderson of Legacy Title. Thank you for joining us. Shane Spring, how you doing, buddy? Anthony Garcia, Todd Tallman. Thanks for coming on board. And I'll make sure that I'll update the information on this stream to include Bob's contact information if you would like to get involved in any future relief efforts. Also, feel free to reach out to me as well, and I'll make sure that I get you in touch with Bob or whoever else is ends up being the best person. But thank you again for joining us, Bob. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Same to you. Thank you.
All right, and so long, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.